Hello, how you doing?
Hey,
good to see you.
Rossi. Lovely. Well, are you guys theatre lovers? Do you like frequently going to the theatre?
Are we theatre lovers?
Are we theatre lovers? No, we're only lovers on television.
Darling, please.
I prefer opera, actually, but theatre's great. It's great to see that you know, when it's live and
I get a real tingle. I just think it's the best place.
I do love it when I go, but I don't make time for it enough. You know how you need to be organised and book the seats, or otherwise all the good shows are sold out. So
and it starts
I
early,
need
so
to
you
make
get
more
there,
time for it, because I do love that.
Book it in advance. Book it in advance, guys, and
Fantastic.
you'll have yourself a treat. And the people who offer us that treat, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a couple of them here today. Please welcome actor from London, Mark Bixter. Hello, Mark. How you doing? Hello. So, how long have you been cracking away? How long have you been acting?
Well, I started when I was sort of 5 or 6 doing amateur stuff. And then, well, originally I wanted to be a doctor or a chef at one point. And,
Perfect place.
And then I sort of realised I couldn't cook anything apart from shepherd's pie. And that sort of continued for about 7 years. So I thought, without the variety, where'd you go?
Act.
So, so I thought about actor or doctor. I wasn't clever enough to be a doctor. So...
It's an interesting thing, isn't it? A doctor or a chef?
Or an actor.
No, or an actor.
I think it is. It's all that cutting up, isn't it? Come on, let's have a look in your bag.
So,
We've got a crack on.
here we
You
go.
brought along for our chef.
All right.
Oh,
crikey.
right then. This has got a bit of an Asian feel to it, hasn't it?
I have.
Tell us what you brought along here, then, Mark.
Well, I've got some prawns here. I do really like seafood, but I never sort of cook it at home. Makes me a bit... I get scared of it. I don't know quite what to do with it.
I know a lot of people think, is it cooked or not?
Yeah,
Something
exactly.
Like that. Okay.
Chilies, love chilies, hot, spicy, bit of a kick. And sugar snap peas, I just think are fabulous.
Well, they are. And then you've got some lovely rice noodles there. You've got onion there and all sorts of things. How much did you spend, mate?
I spent £4.99.
Whoa, dear. He learned that at the Shakespeare Theatre, didn't he? £4.99. That was lovely. What do you think, Chef?
It's grand. The only thing is I'm allergic to shellfish. I can't cook them.
Right. Great, well, I'll take care of that then. You take
I'm just joking. No. Bad joke, sorry. I love it. Great bag, super. No problem. No
happy
problem.
with that? Okay. And here's someone who's also great and super. It's your mate, isn't it?
It is.
Also a fellow actor. Please welcome Michelle Morris. I like that this time, didn't I? Yeah. Nice and jazzy. You actually grew up in the theatre, didn't you?
I did, yes. My mum was a dancer, still is, and I was brought up in amongst theatres and dressing rooms and backstage.
And what type of dancing was she doing? Was it quite wild or was it quite...
She was a television topper, Ainsley.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, when variety was on the telly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she was part of all that in the 70s.
I bet you
She's
still
a
got some of
hands person.
Oh, Tiller.
Oh,
Yeah,
Tiller.
yeah.
Oh, that's lovely.
Fantastic.
I'm excited. Hello, Tiller. Go on, let's have a look in your bag.
As
Right,
opposed to
here we
Attila
go.
on the other side, then.
Absolutely.
I just think it's very appropriate, isn't it? Because we're RSC as well. Not
this
quite
is
the Royal Shakespeare Company.
I know.
Ready, steady, cook. There you go. Yes, here we go.
Vegetarian, I see.
Vegetarian bag. Been a vegetarian for 20 years now, and I've got butternut squash because it's so versatile, and I just love the colour.
Yeah.
I've got a pear here because I'm a bit of a fruit and vegaholic. Love all my fruit and vegetables, and goat's cheese because it reminds me of Jersey, and I was born there.
Oh, very nice. Courgette, salad onions. We're not allowed to call them spring onions anymore, and of course the lovely walnuts. How much did you spend?
You're going to love me, Ainsley. £4.97.
He's going to want the
Get in
3p
there.
now. Get in there.
Yeah, under budget.
Yeah, I tell you, they know how to shop, don't they? OK, but what about our chef? Does he approve?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think the flavour's going to go really well together. It's sort of slightly
Nice
sort of
combination.
autumnal, sort of, you know, I know but we're almost getting ready for hot weather, but it's great. Yeah, it's
I love the way she said fruit and veg. If you didn't like fruit and veg, you'd be in serious trouble, wouldn't
This
you,
is
darling?
it. I would be.
Yeah, good. I hope Ross comes up with something delicious. But what about you, Mr. Rankin? What are you going to do for Mark?
I really like this type of food, you know. So we're going to do two different things with the prawns. One, we're going to make a nice sort of creamy, spicy curry with the chilli in it. The other, we're going to make salt chilli prawns, those lovely, crispy chilli prawns. One we're going to serve with just some noodles and then the cream sauce, and the other one we'll serve with a noodle salad, a cold sort of Thai-style noodle salad, or Asian noodle salad with the chilli prawns. And then we'll do maybe a little stir-fry with the vegetables that's left, and we're going to do a little dessert, a lime, ginger and vanilla souffle. Yeah? Fancy that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I do.
They went quite there. Ooh. You might be thinking the same at home too. Here we are. You're happy, aren't you, Mark?
I am.
OK, he's absolutely delighted. Well, they're working, these actors, you know, so they're not too poor. They can come up with something delicious for, aren't you?
Lime and ginger souffle sounds fantastic to me. But what we're going to do on this side is we're going to take the pear and make a savoury rather than pudding. So we're going to do a goat's cheese stuffed pear tart. We're going to make some gnocchi with butter and sage and walnuts. And we're going to make a little salad and see what happens along the way.
Sounds gorgeous.
Sounds gorgeous.
It does.
For a vegetarian,
It
isn't
sounds
it?
marvellous.
Hey, gone are the days when you went into the restaurant, they said, oh, cheese omelette.
Absolutely, lentil soup.
Exactly, that's all you got.
Broccoli pasta bake.
Hey, all sorts of lovely dishes coming your way, ladies and gentlemen, in 20 minutes. When I say ready, steady, cook. Hey, we're up and away. Salt and pepper, prawns, how about that then? And prawns cooked in a lovely, creamy, chilli, garlicky sauce and stir-fried vegetables, beautiful rice noodles and a salad and a ginger pudding, a souffle. Oh, how delicious does that sound? What about Mr. Ross? He's got some really interesting things going.
OK.
He's taken the old pear there and he's going to mix it with the goat's cheese. That's going to be a rather nice kind of tarty dessert there. We've also got our walnuts. We've got our butternut squash down there. Everything's going to be cooked down. A little bit of gnocchi. How about that? That sounds really interesting. A lot of people just think, I'm only going to buy it in a packet or I'm only going to go in a restaurant and eat it. Ross is going to show you how to make it right here.
And sage.
And sage.
Made for each other.
Beautiful, beautiful flavours. It's always nice when you get the right combination, ladies and gentlemen, and our chefs really do react
peel the
to it
carrots,
in a very, very positive
and then
way.
I want you to do carrot shreds, yeah? For the salad,
OK.
yeah? I'm just setting them up here with all the stuff that I have to do because I've got to get the soufflés on. But let's peel a prawn first so we show them how to do the prawns. With these sort of tiger prawns, I love from a presentation point of view to leave the tail on.
OK.
Yeah? So you just get your fingers in there and prise them open. They come off quite easily, actually.
Do you want the skins? Do you want to keep the skins for a stock for your...
I don't. No,
Ainsley,
no,
okay.
thank you. Thank you very much for the idea.
Okay.
And then I sort of set them up almost sort of marching style like that and slit them down the back quite deep. And then we check for the little digestive tract that's in there. And these are quite clean. But it gives you that sort of thing where they will curl as they cook and then they will sit up, yeah? So, and there's a little digestive tract. And that won't do you any harm, but it doesn't look very appetising, so we take that out.
OK.
Yeah?
Have you ever done that before then, Mark?
I haven't, no.
No? So you've picked
a
up
new
something
experience.
already?
I have. I'm
All right,
learning as we go.
Michelle is going to be
You're
cooking you a
learning.
fantastic
You're
meal. Oh, no.
I can't wait.
Is you a vegetarian or pescatarian? What are you? Do you eat fish?
I'm a vegetarian.
Just vegetarian, sorry, mate. Have to find another girlfriend.
Yeah,
there you go. All right, then let's find out what Paul's going to be doing.
Now,
I'll tell you
one of
what.
the first things you've got to do with these noodles, a lot of people will put these into boiling water, and in general, boiling water will wreck rice noodles, yeah? So what you do is you put them in and you pour either boiling or just very hot water over them and let them sit to get soft for ones this thin, maybe 4 or 5 minutes, really.
OK.
If you over-soak them, you will ruin them. Yeah?
Oh, really?
Yeah, you will ruin
There you go. You will ruin them. And in which way? Do they absorb too much water
They get
then?
too soft and there's nothing you can do with them, really, apart from
OK.
maybe a salad or something, yeah?
All right, then. So how would people sort of stop that from happening? Because there's a tendency to drop them into hot water and walk away. Do you test them, then refresh them under cold water?
Yeah, it's all about sort of staying close to it and tasting them all the time and sort of see how you're getting on with them.
OK,
Yeah.
fine. Lovely.
So that was boiling water. So I'm actually going to add a splash of cold water in because I generally feel that they will go too fast when they're that thin in boiling water, yeah?
All right, then.
So see how they've softened so quickly? They've gone in there. Just separate them.
OK.
Just like you're doing your spaghetti at home.
And
then.
you don't have to go to a specialised supermarket to buy these guys. You can get them in your standard supermarket, your corner shop. A lot of them just go in there and ask for your rice noodles, vermicelli
The rice noodles are great because they're very easy to digest, and it's these rice noodles that you make Singapore noodles out of, so classically.
Yeah.
So if you enjoy your Singapore noodles,
that's it.
You can play with it.
This is the product you want to use. OK, I'll come back and see you. Let's get over to Ross here. He's got a bit of butternut squash that he's popping into boiling water.
My sous chef is doing a superb job there. We're just trying to get that cooked so we can make gnocchi out of it.
Is it a product that you cook quite... A lot of people get put off because of the tough sort of skin, because this is a winter squash. What about you? Is it something that you like to cook?
I do. I really do. I use it a lot because, again, it's so versatile.
Yeah.
I mean, once you get past all the sort of peeling paraphernalia, then you can really get going with it.
Sure.
And it's just... It can be used in so many things. You know, you can stew it and put it in soups and salads and all that kind of stuff.
Do you know the cabotia squash? That's what we drink. We eat
Cabotia squash? Gosh, that's
Bosch's.
interesting.
It's a green skin one. It's flat, not long, but it's what we have in New Zealand. It's actually got a slightly nicer flavour. It's more deep.
Is it sweeter?
It's slightly sweeter, yeah. It's
Do you
very,
want to
very
keep
good.
this whole to put something in then, Ross? Or
No, I think we're just going to make gnocchi, mate.
OK, then.
Good idea, because they're great to cook
now-
and then stuff. So.
What do we make? This is the filling that you're making, is it?
I'm just going to make the pastry to go with the pears.
OK, what can I get you, Ross? Butter, flour?
Butter, flour.
Do you want 1 egg yolk in there or anything?
Please, that'd be lovely. Thank you very much.
OK.
Got the pears poaching. The idea is just to sort of fill them because, you know, there used to be a great tradition of having savouries after dinner rather than... I'm not particularly a pudding person myself, so,
Yeah.
you know, whether it's devils on horseback or whatever, you have something a little bit sort of more interesting after supper. So there used to be a very Victorian thing about, you know, having savouries, and I think Stilton would be particularly good with this, but Stilton and pears, they work really nice with the sweetness and the saltiness.
Yeah, absolutely.
A little bit of watercress for sharpness.
OK, 1 egg, just in case you need to put that in there. OK, now what about this? I've noticed that you've got some bay leaf in there. Is there any other thing to sort of infuse in that water, or just...
Salt, pepper, wine, water, bay leaf. Because it's a savoury thing, it's not a sweet thing. So there's a little bit of sugar in there because it was quite a hard pear, so just to intensify the flavour.
OK.
But basically, we're going to make it savoury. So
all right, then. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Do you normally have desserts, Michelle, at your dinner parties? Or...
Oh, at dinner parties. Oh, bless you.
Oh, really?
If I was that posh.
Oh, is it a posh thing at a dinner party now?
Well,
she's an actress, she gets taken out.
Oh, I wish. Oh, yes, anything with custard is always good.
Yeah,
I have to say, anything with custard is always a bonus.
And
But,
so a tin of custard are we talking about? Or...
Oh, do you know, if you're going to give me a tin of custard, that's fine for me.
You're an easy girl to please.
Oh, darling, I am,
All right.
yes.
Now, Ross, do you want this in the water?
Please, yeah. Thank you very
OK.
much. Cheers.
All that's boiling up. That'll probably be enough there. So just a bit
Fabulous.
more than... Yeah, I think so.
There you go.
That's OK. Lovely. All right, now we've got a bit of pastry here.
That just needs a little bit of kneading. That's still actually a little bit soft.
Yeah.
But normally you'd obviously follow a recipe. But we're just going to make some cute little pear-shaped bases and then bake them when they're stuffed with the goat's cheese.
Lovely.
They're going to look really cute.
OK, Chef, time is moving on. 13.5 minutes to go. Do you want your salad onions chopped up?
No, actually, if Michelle first, would you be so kind, please, as to peel? Basically, I want ribbons, OK?
OK. Yep, no problem.
Super.
OK.
Because when that thinly cut, we can dress them with lemon juice and olive oil and what have you, and we won't need to. They won't need to be cooked because they'll cook with the action of the acid. So just nice, slow. Yeah, exactly.
Nice long strips. Puts pressure on you now on TV cooking.
The pressure,
Oh,
Ainsley.
lovely. So what type of characters do you like to play then, Michelle?
I suppose I tend to normally sort of go for girl next door types.
Yeah.
You know.
Is that the directors that choose you in those
Bit like you,
positions?
Ainsley.
Yeah.
Pretty much, actually. Yes, it tends to be nurses, girls next door, that sort of nice sort of type. But then again, the nasty ones are always much more interesting to play.
Sure.
You know, a bit of wickedness. That's always kind of got.
But when you're at acting college, they actually teach everybody to more or less speak the same, don't they?
They do. They do.
What about accents and stuff? Are you any good at that? And can you pick up dialects from different parts of the country?
Yeah, I mean, you can tend to sort of be trained with a lot of different sort of accents depending on what you're doing.
Turn that over now.
Oh,
there you
thank
go.
you.
There you
Thanks,
go. Yeah, it's
sweetheart.
OK.
So depending on what your strengths are, or if you've got family in
So
places.
what's your good accent then? What are you?
Well, what we got here, Ainsley, is a courgette. I'm slicing it quite thinly. Nice little ribbons there, you know.
Yeah.
Still a podling's quite a great one, you know. Are they? Are they? And they do that, though, don't they?
Yeah.
So that's your scouse.
Unlike
That's
that man,
your
she can go out with that Robin.
No, we'll talk
That's your
again.
scouse.
OK, we've got some pastry here that's being knocked up. As Ross said, he's going to cut it into a bit of a pear shape, and that's going to be nestled. The pear's going to be nestled on top of that.
Top tip, Ainsley, because of the gluten, we don't have time to go talk about gluten, proteins and stuff, but only ever roll in two directions. If you roll like that, it's going to shrink like there's no tomorrow.
All right, then.
Roll, quarter turn, roll again.
There you go. Good tip, good tip. A lot of that coming across and ready, steady, cook. Let's go back down and see how Paul Rankin's getting on. Thanks for that, Ross.
Cheers, mate.
I'll come back and have a look at that later.
Half of
There
these
you
are
go.
done.
So this is going to be interesting for you then, isn't it, Mark?
It
Bit
is
of
indeed, yes.
All these rice noodles. Ever cooked that before?
I haven't cooked rice noodles before, no. I've cooked other noodles.
Yeah.
Thicker noodles, egg noodles.
Kind of good. Put a bit of pressure on you, doesn't it, mate? Eh? There you go. What about those prawns, Paul? Do you need them peeled?
We will eventually, of course.
Yeah,
but let me show you
eventually, I
this,
think.
Ainsley. Let me
Okay.
show you this.
You tell me what you're
Smell
doing.
that. That is the lime, vanilla, and ginger custard. Yeah?
Oh, lovely.
Isn't that amazing?
Wow. And the lime, is it just the zest and
It's just the zest. Yeah, that's all you need. Yeah?
OK, so none of the juice has actually gone in there.
None of the juice has gone in there. And now we're making what I want you to do for me, if you get a chance, is just whisk the egg yolks into that.
Yeah, OK, I'll do that for you.
And that gives us the base for the souffle. And then all we're doing is whites. And we whisk those up, and that's all it is, basically.
OK.
To make the custard, it was a good heaped teaspoon of corn flour, a heaped teaspoon of flour, about 150 ml of milk, a teaspoon of vanilla essence.
OK.
The zest of 2 limes and a nice big pinch of ginger.
OK, Chef's whipping that up. Doing a good job. So you don't need to get too much beer into it, do you, Paul?
Well, that's what Nick Nairn said.
Nick Nairn is one of the other chefs on the programme. All right, any embarrassing moments then whilst you're performing?
Well, I had, in a show I did with Morris over there last year, I had to wear these attractive little number in a sort of...
Oh, girls, they're pretty,
70s.
aren't they, eh?
Yeah, it was me on stage in a pair of them and a pink Mickey Mouse T-shirt.
Yeah.
It's absolutely lovely. And Michelle got to see that every night. Friends, family, a whole lot. All
Every
came.
night.
There was I.
There we
There
go.
we go. With all my wares out and I'm eating 2 veg.
I know, well, that's what happens sometimes.
Twice on a Saturday,
Will you
Ainsley.
take on them,
Twice
Jill?
on a Saturday I saw that site.
Twice on a
On
Saturday.
matinee day, it was always twice.
With the colour in them, love, you'd have to put your dark glasses on, wouldn't you? Eh?
There's a lot of budgies to be smuggled, isn't it?
Paul, tell us what you're doing, because this is the point where people actually lose it when they're making a souffle here.
Well,
Is it-
I'm just buttering the moulds.
Yeah.
And then what I do is I put sugar in them, and that will give you a crust on the outside of your souffle, a lovely sugary crust, which is part of the charm of a sweet souffle.
OK.
Yeah? And now we're mixing it up. A third of the egg whites go in there now,
Yeah.
just to
Okay.
lighten up the creme patisserie.
And notice how he kind of beats the first kind of third of it into it first, then he folds the rest in
so that's
afterwards.
nice and light.
8 minutes to go now, gentlemen.
And then we haven't done much. We haven't got a single thing cooked yet, ladies and gentlemen. And that's
keep
just
going,
the
Chef.
way I am. I
Awfully
just
well.
love to live on the edge. And
You like doing it all at the last minute, don't you, Paul? Just whack those in there now. That's it. Don't overfill them. That's the secret, I think, too, isn't it, Chef?
well, I mean, no, these will take about 7-8 minutes. Isn't it?
That's all you got, mate. You've got no other choice. He's got to fly, Ross. He's got to get these done really, really quickly. All right, then you've got the onion. Get the onion peeled as quick as you can. Ideal characters that you like to play, then? Are you one of those... Do you like to play the classics or something?
I'd love to. I'd love to play Richard II, ideally. That's my sort of dream part. But I normally get cast as nerds and geeks.
Yeah.
Which is slightly unfortunate because Richard II isn't.
I know, but it
tricky.
can change at any time. That's the amazing thing about
Can I have that,
acting,
please?
isn't it? It can just change any second. You could just go for another audition and the face
Absolutely.
changes characters and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So that makes it a little bit different. Do you still
does,
find it
it does.
exciting? Do you still get a buzz?
Oh,
when you
yeah,
walk out on
absolutely. I don't
stage?
think that ever goes. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't do it anymore, you know.
Give it up.
You always get a bit nervous on the first night. You always...
I love your voice. Is that just a plummy voice, or is that like a proper theatre school trained voice?
Plumbing voice or a theatre school voice.
You know what I
know,
mean about
I know.
his voice, Ainsley?
He can project a little bit, can't you?
I can, yes.
You can get it out. Hey, tien for you cut your onions and plunge it into thy oil.
Yes. Now I will slice the back of your prawn and remove your digestive
no,
tract.
you won't.
Do you bite your thumb at me, sir? Be the law with me if I say yea, nay, then I do not bite my thumb at thee, sir, but I bite my thumb.
I think you should take.
What?
I think you should take Ross with you.
Ross is down for it. Ross is absolutely down for it. What's this about the old Bill nicking you for nicking your own bike?
Oh, now this is what I was...
6 minutes, guys.
Yeah,
Nice and quick.
I was at drama school and I chained my bike up to a lamppost outside the rehearsal room. And I went home for the night. I came back the next day and someone else had chained their bike to mine. So I left it there for a day and I came back to it and it was still chained there. So I got some bolt cutters and I cut their bike off and I brought my car. And when my bike was loaded into the back of the car, 3 police vans and 42 policemen all turned up and started walking around the pub. Came in, excuse me, sir. Took me outside and I had to just sort of say, it's my bike. I stole my own bike.
I bet your best acting skills came out then.
Absolutely, they did.
I'm so sorry, officer.
So
what seems to be the problem?
Yeah. So that was that one,
We'll
yeah.
talk again. Now, look, already Paul starting. It's a bit late in the day, but just prove
It's
to you...
not late.
that well, it is a little bit late. But you... Oh, that's hot. Give us your cloth.
I got him! Yes! You did! I've been trying to do it for years and years and years.
I think we should get one of those handles that really work, shouldn't we, Paul? That kind of change colour or something like that.
opened.
Be careful, just because your pan might have been in the oven. Get that sorted off. Garlic's in there, we've got chilies in there, onions going in there.
I need you to make up a dressing.
Okay,
with
I'll
some
leave you. I'll come back.
lime
Let's get
juice.
back down to Ross.
Right,
See what's happening down here. About 5 minutes to go now, Ross.
So we're just having a lovely moment there.
Yeah. This is
She's a very clever girl, this.
Is she?
Oh,
really
Very clever.
He's
What's he
working-
been up to then? Tell
Not
us.
that
He's,
Surprised,
he's
you know.
working me hard, Ainsley. I've been doing courgettes into ribbons.
Oh, lovely.
I've got grated lemon zest in there. I've got 2 tablespoons of olive oil in there.
Yeah.
I've got lemon juice in there as well, bit of salt and pepper. And now I am...
Lovely, lovely, fresh. It just smells so fresh, doesn't
It
it?
smells beautiful. And now I've got my spring onions here.
Oh, yeah, you're
I
coming
know,
along
look.
beautifully. Doing great.
Chopping-tastic.
Is there any characters that you particularly like to play then, Michelle?
Yeah, I mean, again, sort of always that sort of... something that's got a lot of scope to it, you know. Anything that's sort of one-dimensional can be a bit sort of, you think, well, OK, what you see is what you get, but something that's got lots of twists and turns.
Sure. And what about when you work with Martine McCutcheon?
Well, that was a great experience. That was on a television series called The Knock, which was all about customs and excise, and I played a goodie in that.
I think you were doing a bit of kickboxing
We
and
were,
stuff like that.
yeah. I was in a big kickboxing fight with her, so we had to train a lot for that, and it turned into a bit of a sort of cat fight at the end because it was sort of evil against good, and yeah, it was great fun,
More
really
TV
good.
work on the way,
it
more
was
TV.
great.
Let's find out what Ross
I'm
is doing
thinking
here.
Billy Piper. Yeah, I'm thinking Doctor Who's new assistant.
Oh, it could be, could
Hey,
be.
later,
could be.
Ross.
Yeah, maybe,
Gosh.
you can never tell.
Loving
OK,
his
Ross,
work.
tell us a bit about gnocchi here.
OK, gnocchi's... Well, there's 3 types of gnocchi. There's gnocchi alla romana, made with semolina. There's gnocchi alla spinaci, which is made with ricotta. And there's normal potato gnocchi. This is not potato, strange enough, but it's a...
Butternut squash.
It's effectively... I know it's a fruit, but it's effectively...
OK, and they drop into the
root
water and you want them to
vegetables.
float
And the
up.
idea is it's a mixture of a root vegetable and flour. Ideally, about 1/6 of the volume of the vegetable is flour.
Right,
It's
so you
been
could use
seasoned.
parsnip, you could use celeriac, any of those
They're
things.
very
at all.
wet, so you need to add more. The thing is that the more flour you use, the easier it is to deal with them, but they're also tougher. So the less flour you use, the better you're going to get. They get lovely.
Nice
They're called
and
gnocchi
smooth.
because a gnocco is a knee. It's the little pinches, and you'll see that I'm making these little pinches. Okay.
Beautiful. There we are. Another
Never
little
done that before.
I know, there's always something nice that comes
Well, if
out
you're a
of this. isn't
vegetarian, you have to be a little bit more creative.
Yeah,
Vegetarian, I'll give you a
absolutely.
vegetarian. Yeah. Now,
And that's a
fantastic.
burro salvia, which is sage butter, which is very traditional for a lot of northern dishes, but especially with butternut. This is going to be
It's
fantastic.
going to be lovely, isn't it? All going to float
No,
up. And
it's
you
float.
know,
And
you
it's-
know they're cooked when they float to the surface, OK,
Exactly.
guys? They
So you
float
can't
up
get
to the
them
top of the water. Nice wide pan, generally. We're just sort of rushing here a little bit. Now, what was it like being rescued by 10 firemen whilst you were in the bath?
It was delightful, Ainsley.
Yeah.
Well,
exciting.
It was a bit chaotic. I was actually doing pantomime one Christmas at Windsor.
2 minutes, guys.
And I was making my lunch before I went, so I was boiling up some rice. I thought, I'll have a bath, I've got enough time. Had a bath, washing my hair, doing everything, and suddenly I had, you know, firefighters running down the stairs into the flat, and there I was in my towel.
Loving every moment.
Oh,
God,
loving
I
everything.
paid them to do that.
Oh, do you like my new hair?
And I had no idea, and there was smoke, and it was horrendous. And I was staying in digs, so of course my poor digs lady, I had to explain why there was no sort of bottom in her saucepan. You know, so I bought her a new one, but I had no idea where the time went.
Brilliant,
But yeah, so I'm their
brilliant,
mascot now.
OK, not much time. What else do you want her to do? Because
Yes,
I know
next
there's
job.
other
Okay, I've just got this image. This is marvellous.
Oh, she's great. This one,
Next job.
she's done four London marathons, off to the New York Marathon.
That's
She's a
right,
busy
that's right.
person, all for charity, ladies and
Who
gentlemen.
do you
How
support?
brilliant. Now, let's get this out, Ross. Not much time. Do you need to toss those in there, or that just goes straight
No,
on the top?
I'm doing all right. They're almost done.
OK,
Almost done,
beautiful.
mate.
Everything's looking good.
Right, now, your
All
salad,
right,
what
then.
do you
We've
do with
got the
salad?
pears in the oven looking good.
leave
The
those alone.
music
Salad
has
is going
started, ladies and gentlemen.
onto one of
That
the
means
two
our
plates,
chefs
not
have
the bottom,
very little
two
time
plates.
now to get the food out.
Yeah, please. Yeah,
Paul's
make
left
it
it to the
really
last
minute.
minute, so we've got to find out. Here we are. There you go. Right, let's get these plates up here. All right, here we are. Will he get it out? He's got 1 minute to get this food out there. Yes. There it is. OK, fantastic. I know it's kind of difficult, isn't it? Wondering what to do. Souffles are looking particularly good. Audience, remember, you're voting for what the chefs did with the ingredients they were given. It's all going to come alive now. Very, very quickly.
And we get a thing and scoop those out.
Yeah, there you go. There we are, my man. 20 seconds to go. There we are.
Right,
Let's
parsley
go.
and oil and blitz.
Pop that in there.
And spring onions. Make something green. Oop, that is...
Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7,
Keep going, Michelle, keep going.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop! Cooking! I don't know how they do it, or certainly how I do it. To remind you of what our chef's begun with, Paul Rankin had some king prawns, rice noodles, sugar snap peas, red chillies, carrots and an onion, whilst Ross Burden began with a large butternut squash, some goat's cheese, a couple of pears, a courgette, a packet of walnuts and some salad onions. Well, we've got a ripe pair here, haven't we, ladies and gentlemen? They're fantastic at acting, but how are they at eating? Come over here, Mark. Let's see, let's get rid of that, shall we? Let's lose that completely.
Well, the souffle.
All right, sorry, mate, you get in there.
Yeah,
I'll lose that completely.
Get in the way of the food.
Now,
Right.
What about a name, please, Paul?
What about prawn to be wild?
Yeah, that is a good one. A little bit of rock salt. OK, tell us what you did there. What does that taste like? Good?
Oh, it's really good. I know you're supposed to say that at this point, but it was absolutely fab. It's really, really gorgeous.
Oh, no, you go for it, my man.
I wanted to just show you something, how I got these, yeah? Hot oil, just break them off, bang. Watch that a second.
Yeah, OK.
OK, we can talk. The prawns, separated them into two. This one's stir-fried with the onions, the garlic, the curry powder, the chilli. And then we hit it with some basil, some fresh cream, and basically that's it. A little bit of lime juice in there if you want.
OK, go on. Salt and pepper.
With this one, the salt chili prawns is basically get them a little bit wet, leave a little bit of moisture on them, and then either into potato flour or cornstarch, massage it in. Yeah, you can put a little bit of salt in there if you want, or you can put the salt on afterwards, and then you can finish them with a bit of chili.
OK, then.
The salad
potato flour. A lot of people are probably going to get confused.
Well, we
about
use corn flour.
Corn flour. Corn flour is the perfect substitute.
Yeah.
Potato flour. It's just another thickening agent, guys. OK. All right, then. Carry on, Paul.
The little salad here is lime juice, soy sauce, a little bit of sesame oil, a little bit of coriander and chives and chili going in there.
This is just the kind of a noodle salad.
Yeah, I didn't hear that one.
Yeah. That's a confused stir fry.
All right, then twirl your
Yeah,
fork. There you
I'll
go,
do a twirl, yeah.
Yeah. All right, then. And finally, what about that souffle?
The souffle, we made the pastry cream with the corn flour and the fresh and the flour with butter, milk, vanilla, ginger, and lime zest. That oil's not hot enough to get those to come out.
Look at that. You can see that lovely and light and fluffy. Yeah. OK, shove that in your mouth, Mark.
Pudding. Then in go the egg yolks. You whip up your whites with your sugar. Bang.
Everything done.
Yeah.
OK.
And those will fluff up like that in seconds if that's hot enough.
OK, get your oil lovely and hot and you get those lovely crisps. What do you think, Mark?
It's heaven.
It's heaven.
Really,
well,
it's
you enjoy that. Yeah. You enjoy that. Hey, Michelle, he's having a good time.
Oh,
We're just saying, spot the actor, you know, free food.
Where's the food? It's free.
You go for it here.
It's like a bird, apparently. I get it.
Where did it go?
What are you going to call it, Ross?
Well, you know, we didn't have much in the bag, being vegetarian and stuff, so I guess we just used the simple pear necessities.
Ooh, very good.
OK, tell us what you did.
OK, we made the squash into gnocchi, and we've dressed it very simply with walnuts and butter and sage, which is very traditional. We took the courgette, and rather than cooking it, we ribboned it and then just dressed with little olive oil, salt, pepper, walnuts and olive oil, so it's like a raw salad almost. Keep it clean. If you've got something rich, you want something clean. And then we had a savoury. I thought this was appropriate. We made pastry and we stuffed the poached pears with the goat's cheese, some spring onions, some parsley, salt, pepper, and what have you.
Have another one.
We baked. Doggy bag. Taxi for Michelle.
Can I take that home?
You can eat it all afterwards if you want, love. Let's go.
And so we made these sort of little savoury things, and really I would like to have done them with watercress to give a little bit of crunch to the sweetness. But you've got the richness there, you've got the base. We didn't make the pastry too thick, so it's really nice and light. But you've got the pear and the goat's cheese, and that should be pretty good. So for a vegetarian, that should be about hitting the spot.
Good.
Loving your work, Ross. What is he? He's licensed to grill, eh?
He certainly is. He's licensed to do a lot more than grilling. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our actors are absolutely delighted, but what of our studio audience? Will they go for a green pepper or a red tomato? Let's find out. Will you all please vote now? Well, up they go, and look at this. It's unanimous. It's a green pepper day!
Thank you very much.
Hey, congratulations to you, my man. £100 spending money there for you. It's always nice to have a bit of cash, though, isn't
It is. Well, me and Michelle are splitting this money.
Yeah.
I'm running the marathon this year, so my half is going to the Actors Charitable Trust, which does a lot of good work for actors, children with disabilities. And Michelle's going to do a parachute jump for Battersea Dogs and Cats Home. So that's where her money's going. So we're going to split
wonderful.
that.
Thanks, both of you. Excellent. Well done, my man. Brilliant. And well done to you, too.
Not at all.
Excellent. Well, win or lose, you came out with something there, didn't you?
You're never a loser,
And you're
Ainsley.
never,
You're never
loser
a loser.
indeed. And of course, you're going home with a couple of lovely recipes and
Absolutely.
a ready, steady cook hamper. All sorts of lovely goodies in there.
I can't wait, and I'm going to share my hamper with Mark as well. So
great.
we're splitting
That's
everything.
lovely. Well, good luck with the old career, my darling.
I'm going to carry on eating.
Oh,
It's
no, well,
marvellous.
I don't blame you.
Well, I don't know about carrying on. I'm going to carry you on.
Hey! Yes, there goes Ross. Oh, I don't know. Ross, I said squeaky bag. OK, ladies, let's say a very big thank you to our actors, Mark Bixter and Michelle Morris. OK. Well, let's see how our boys do with this little lot today. And inside, I've got some caramelised shallots. Lots of these kind of jars with simplified sort of advertising on the packaging now. We've got some organic cherry tomatoes. We've got cannellini beans, a bag of spinach. It's a rather nice cheese there, isn't it? That gorgonzola, isn't it? Creamy gorgonzola and some chorizo sausage. Well, there you go, gentlemen.
You know,
nice
in
combination.
Italian, when I went to Italy the first time, I asked for blue cheese, and they don't call it blue cheese. It's called green cheese.
Oh, right. So that's a good tip. OK, what would you do?
You care, do you? It's just an interesting fact.
What would you do with your green cheese, Ross?
Very snacky, isn't it? So I'm thinking perhaps a chorizo and tomato soup with a deep-fried spinach garnish, cannellini bean and confit dip, grilled chorizo. It's very snacky, so it's like tapas on tapas. And the gorgonzola is looking so gorgeous. Gorgonzola and yoghurt spinach salad.
Beautiful. OK, sounds yummy, doesn't it? Let's see if Paul can persuade our audience to vote for him.
I think it'd be nice to do like a stew with the beans and the sausage tomatoes, a sort of cassoulet type thing. I think a spinach and blue cheese salad would be lovely with some fried chorizo and some nice fresh croutons. And I think bruschettas, a load of bruschettas would be nice. We could mix them up, sort of variety of bruschettas with some with red onion marmalade, tomatoes, etc.
OK, lovely. Both the chefs
Little
come up
snacks,
with
yeah.
just nice creative ideas, but it's down to these guys who they want to see perform their magic in the kitchen. What's it going to be? Green peppers or red tomatoes? Will you all please vote now? And up they go. Look at this. Oh, well, Mr. Rankin, eh?
I'm a very happy man today.
Really?
Yeah.
Would you like to hold these for me?
No, I wouldn't,
No, you
thank-
wouldn't
no.
because it's a Ross Burton bag. Let's get cooking. OK, Ross, let me help you down there.
Right, mate, that's great.
Now your 10 minutes cooking time, chef, starts now. What
Let's
can we
do
do?
the tins, that'd be super. I'm going to give Mr. Rankin the treat there. If you'd like to slice it obliquely and grill it for a bruschetta and frizzle a little bit for the salad, that'd be fantastic.
Cool.
I'm loving his idea about the bruschetta, the frizzle bit for the salad, that's fantastic. We're going to cheat and use the caramelised shallots to make soup. These, I have to say, that I'm not particularly a tinny person, but these tinned tomato, cherry tomatoes are fantastic.
OK. Well, they're
Absolutely
fairly good
fantastic.
store cupboard standby, aren't
Brilliant
they?
stuff, absolutely brilliant. They've got so much. I don't know whether it's I mean, obviously they're cooked and grown in the sun, but whether it's because they've got a smaller surface area or something like that. But they seem to have more flavour. They really have more flavour than normal tomatoes.
OK.
And you know, there's a big thing about using fresh produce, which of course I believe in. But I have to say, tinned tomatoes are much better than anything you're going to buy from the supermarket. Generally, if you're making a sauce, I mean, not for a salad, but if you're making a sauce.
Great.
You know, proper
OK, so all of them go in there.
Yeah, we're going to put some basil, we're going to put some oregano. If we've got some, we're going to put a bit of olive oil in there, a little bit of wine.
OK, basil, oregano and wine. Now, what about these beans? You want me to blitz them up?
Yeah, please, mate. What I thought I would do, actually, before you blitz those, I
Just
thought
a
we could
little
blitz
bit of
some
treat
sesame
toast.
seeds and make like our own homemade tahina,
Yeah.
which I'm a bit addicted to, which is great.
OK.
Incredibly good for boys.
All right, then a little bit of tahini. We're talking about a sesame seed paste, if you don't know, ladies and gentlemen. What we're going to basically do is just blitz down the sesame seeds to try and capture that lovely flavour
It's
that we
got a real
associate
sort of
with it.
savouriness to it, you know? It's just it's so delicious. It's full of zinc.
Okay.
It's very, very good for you.
Now I can get this in. There you go. I think that one should work. There we
sesame
are.
oil, interesting enough, normally the stuff we use is normally toasted Chinese sesame oil, which is much more fragrant than plain sesame oil. Plain sesame oil is used in Arabia and sort of the Middle East as a cooking oil rather than olives.
Yeah.
Because in the south of Arabia they didn't have olives, so they make their oil from sesame seeds. When I was in Yemen, I was travelling around and found that when I was quite primitive place, a very interesting place, that we found these funny little huts. Every village had a funny little hut.
Oh yeah. And what did you go into the hut?
Well, yeah, I did. And it was a circular hut, and all the houses are square, you see. So there's circular. So is that the loo? Is that the baths? Is that what is that? So we went inside, and in fact, each of them had a camel inside it.
A camel?
A camel, and the camel was basically tied to the biggest mortar and pestle you've ever seen, and its job was to grind the sesame seeds for oil, for cooking oil. And every community has its own oil
Cooked with sesame seed oil.
Yeah, but sesame seed, but not toasted, just raw.
Sure.
So it tastes of sometimes it tastes nothing. It's really interesting.
All right. That's interesting, isn't it? Ross is always coming up with useful information.
Well, here's something that's
Useful. Useless.
My mum read that sesame seeds were good for your brain power. So there was a stage in my life where she used to send me out in the morning with a mouthful of sesame seeds. And so I'd be on the way to my bus stop, chewing the sesame seeds, and they just get bigger and bigger in your mouth, you know? And I don't know if I got any brainier than not, but everyone at the bus stop thought I was the strangest child in the neighbourhood. So thanks for that, Mum.
Now, gorgonzola, what about that? Tell us a little bit about that, Ross.
Traditional cheese from northern Italy. It's a lot young. It's strangely enough. It's a bit like I didn't know this, but I was doing something the other day, and I found out this Stilton is actually a great deal younger than you think it is. Most Stilton that's ready to eat is about 3 months old, whereas cheddar you don't eat till it's 2 years old. It's apparently that the action of the mould that's in it acidulates it faster and speeds up the whole sort of
process. Yeah.
Process, yeah. Gorgonzola, there's two types. As I said, it's green cheese, it's not blue cheese. It's either dolce, meaning sweet, or picante, meaning spicy. Oh, look at that. That's supper. And lovely. And it's basically based on age, but you also put more salt. There's more salt. The French are trying to stop us making Stilton because it's got too much salt in it. But you just eat less.
OK.
Surely, I mean, you know, going to say.
Lovely. Now, Paul, tell us about your fried chorizo, chef, and
I don't think there's much to tell, really, Ainsley. With chorizo, when you fry it, you get this lovely, fragrant, spicy oil. I mean, this one I'm trying to frizzle. But when you fry it quite slowly, the oil is great to use on things like risottos or salads, or to drizzle around a little bit of fish or to add it to beans or something like that.
Yeah.
So quite often the oil is well worth keeping. Very tasty with potatoes.
OK, got a lovely paste there for you.
I've just added some roast.
It really does release all the oils. All that kind of paprika and everything comes out of it. So how do you use that? Do you serve that on top of the bread, or do you discard it?
Well, it depends, I think, just in exactly what sort of dish you want to make. I actually find too much chorizo and too much oil sort of a little bit indigestible for my system.
Yeah.
So I tend to lose it, you know?
It's quite full on, but the thing about it, interestingly, is the fact that the colouring comes from the paprika, and the xanthophylls in it are oil soluble, not water soluble, which is why you get such a yellow oil or red oil.
OK, I'm going to do the very quick little bits of strips of
Yeah. There we were, chatting away.
I know, and time
enjoying
is
ourselves.
absolutely flying by.
Did you want fried spinach? Did I hear you say you wanted fried spinach?
OK, 3 minutes to go now, guys.
I'll put some oil on.
OK, cool. Yeah, that'd be great, mate.
Sorry, gentlemen, about 3.5 minutes to go. Let's knock this out. And I do have a quickie question here, guys, and perhaps, Ross, you could answer this. It comes from Scott Manson from Ayrshire in Scotland. Good afternoon to you, Scott. I have been growing my own basil and have quite a lot of it. I have a nice bottle of olive oil, and I was wondering if you can tell if I'm able to fuse them together. If so, how about it?
Well done you, frankly, because basil is something I can't grow. I find it very, very difficult to grow. It tends to either sort of get underwatered or overwatered, so well done for growing it. if it was me and you wanted to preserve it, I have to say the thing I'd probably do is make pesto and freeze it, which freezes very well.
Yeah.
And blitz it. Or, in fact, the other thing you can do is just blitz it into the olive oil, make sure there's a little bit of olive oil on the top, and leave it in the fridge. And you don't need to use your best olive oil at all. You can use sunflower oil, frankly, because, unless you want to use good stuff, the expense will not be repaid. I think it's just great to just blitz it and put it in the fridge and leave it do its thing.
What about you, Paul? Fusing the oil and
I'm glad Ross said that about making the pesto and freezing it, 'cause that's exactly what I was going to say. I think it's the best result you can get. If I was going to make the basil oil, I would be blanching the basil first very quickly in water. Otherwise, there's enough little just micro germs and bugs on it that it'll go mouldy very quickly, even in the fridge.
Okay. It also preserves the colour, in the same way that when we stir-fry choy sum or something like that, you blanch it first.
I mean, one thing that'll work really well is a basil oil. Blanch it lightly and blend it up with your olive oil. Let it stand for a while, then strain it off. And that will keep in the fridge very well for maybe a week or so.
Lovely.
Right, let's start building up our bruschetta.
I know, let's start getting everything prepared. I'm going to be putting some little basil leaves around here.
I've got some coriander oil. I did a job and I had enormous amounts of coriander, and I've had it in the fridge for a couple of weeks and it's still perfectly all right. Once you put the oil on, the thing is that you see it takes the oxygen away, so it can't age or oxidise. So.
Okay. Right, I'm just putting some nice spinach leaves around here, guys. It's just kind of a little bit of a natural garnish. We've also got all that lovely sort of toasted ciabatta. Now, in order to get this, it's a bit like a hummus, and we often go on about this on the programme. Taking any of your pulses, I've got cannellini beans here, and all I've done is incorporate it with, you saw before, the old sesame seeds went down to a bit of powder, a bit of garlic, a little bit of olive oil, and I just threw my beans in, season it up with a little bit of salt and pepper. It's very, very simple, and it's kind of nice if you're wondering, a few friends are popping around, you want something really quick and easy, just throw it into your food processor and whiz away.
It's about intensifying the flavour, mate, isn't it? And that's don't let any flavour get away from you. That's the thing.
OK, lovely.
OK,
get rid of that bread.
We need to
how are you doing, Paul? Are you going to be ready, chef?
He's done, mate. We just need to spread this with some white beans. We need to spread this with some white beans, and we'll put the treacle on top, which is our last dish, which we're doing very, very well here with. A little of this here.
Did you want a hand?
OK. Oh, no, we'll be OK there, my man. Don't you worry about that. We're just giving the people a few ideas, I think, was there.
I'll just stand here and wait.
You could just stand there and wait, couldn't you?
Yeah.
OK, I'm going to take a little bit of this chorizo. 20 seconds to go now. Let's just finish this off here. That's it, beautiful. A little bit of caramelised onion. And I've got some lovely sprinkled chorizo just there.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Stop cooking!
And a drizzle on that, look at that.
Loving it. Well done. Thank you, mate.
All right, simplicity, ladies and gentlemen. A couple of simple ingredients, and it's amazing what you can achieve in a short space of time if you've got the right equipment. What are you going to call it?
Well, I don't want to be cheesy, but it's bean super.
They like that cheesy, don't they, a bit? Tell us what you did then, Ross.
OK, I made a salad dressing out of the... In fact, we're going to talk about something completely different, but it was with olive oil and lemon juice, lemon zest to give it some more zing. The gorgonzola, the beans, the chorizo, the spinach, and I think raw spinach is just so good for you. It's just so delicious. We made a very quick soup out of the caramelised shallots and the tomatoes, a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of seasoning just to zhuzh it up. Paul very kindly fried me some spinach just for a...
Was that a little pesto or pisto type thing?
Yeah, it's more pesto than pesto, in as much as it doesn't have cheese in it, but it was a parsley sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then we have the other plate. Somebody's hungry.
Yeah, I know. He's fancying a bit of that.
sort of food,
This is my sort of food, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just sit around with a few of your mates and have a little bit of a nibble. It's tea time for everybody, even you at home. Thanks for joining us, and see you soon on Ready Steady Cook. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Oh, but it's sausage, mate. Lovely.